Doing racing. You have blue nose?
Yep.
I noticed the pictures last night over here, and we were going across the start line, and I was looking at my sail, and I'm embarrassing it. The mains in the left has got a bunch of wrinkles in it.
Yep.
And the batten, instead of being a nice, aerodynamic shape here, it's kind of got
A V shape, and that's not V for victory either.
No. What was I doing wrong?
The sail, any sail, think about it for a minute. You have a mast, straight, then you start to bend it, and you have a relatively unpliable piece of material, and as soon as you bend it, you'll start to see wrinkles, okay? Two things in the sail. Those wrinkles are because we bent the mast, which is good, because it's tightening the headstay. That's from, yeah, and you're pulling the headstay up, that's really good, but now you've done something that you need to correct for, and that's the Cunningham. You pull, you have to apply counter tension to take some of those wrinkles out, and if you don't do that, the pressure distribution in the mainsail is more pressure in the back and less in the front. Less in the front because the jib is blowing air at it, so there's just less, the sheet tension is more in the back of the sail. So what happens is that the draft, the deepest part of the sail, as you noticed, slides on back, right to the forward edge of the batten pockets. That's not good. You would rather keep it, if you sight from the middle of the boom, straight up, you'll see that you can see the draft, and you want it to be at half or a little ahead. So remove some of the wrinkles, not all of them. Some people call them speed wrinkles, and they go, well, I've got to have them. Well, I don't see it that way. The way I see it is, I want the draft is just ahead of the center.
So you need more Cunningham.
A little more Cunningham. But look at the camber of the sail before you just pull it willy-nilly.
How does the outhaul and the main halyard affect that?
Well, the main halyard really should be at the top all the time. Consider this. At the water level, there is no wind. At the masthead, there's more wind. Typically, there's a wind gradient between the gooseneck and the top of the mast. I'm going to say on most boats, on some boats, it's 100%. Meaning, if we have 5 knots down here, we can have way more wind speed up high, okay? And that's normal. So, as a result, being greedy, I always want my mainsail all the way up to the black band, wherever I'm allowed to put it, that's where it goes, to the top. And that's a default, that's where it goes. So in other words, if I had a space this big between the bottom of the mainsail and the boom, that suits me fine. All I know is I've not just pulled the top up, I've taken the whole leech, I pulled the whole triangle higher into sweeter air, faster moving air. Faster moving air makes you go faster. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. What about outhaul?
If your boat's heeling too much, pull the outhaul. Remember what I said earlier about that 747 coming in for a landing? If you can reduce, once the boat's moving fast, if you can reduce the drag, you will, it's a lift-drag equation, okay? The mathematics of sails are that to get going you need a lot of horsepower, not a lot of lift. But at some point that becomes limiting. That same 747 can only fly 300 knots with its flaps out and full power. As soon as it brings the flaps in, that makes that wing smaller and flatter, all of a sudden its speed goes up to 550. So that's a lift-drag equation. And you work with the same lift-drag equation, meaning as soon as you're up to speed, try flattening, and again and again and again and again. As you reduce the drag, if that was the problem, the boat will go faster and faster. Now that it's going faster, there's more air on the sail, and you have to reduce drag again. A catamaran sail is really flat. Well, they camber it up, and then they go flatter, and the boat just keeps going faster. If you've ever sailed an ice boat and looked at it, you go, there is no camber in this thing, but it's going 45 miles an hour. All right, did we get you? Did we? No?
Oh yeah.
Answered?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.